Good morning. I am 5 minutes earlier today, so as always, if you're watching and recording, you're welcome to fast forward 5 minutes or stay with us through our hellos. Good morning, Rosario. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Zazu. Yes, the ocean is beautiful today, and the sunrise was gorgeous. Unfortunately, it's gone now, but it was so nice, very pink. Good morning, Gina. Thank you. Yes, I'm feeling better. I have been feeling not well, especially in the evenings. The mornings are hard. Okay, I need to check the sound. So if you hear me twice, don't worry. How are you today? So as you hear me twice, how are you today? So there is a bit of a background noise today. Let's see what's going on. AirPods supposed to cancel noise, and sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. So let's try again. What's going on? Noise. Lots of background noise. I know, yeah. Let me try again. Noise. Lots of background noise. Ah, okay. So somehow it got fixed. I don't understand what's going on, but it's better now, right, Gina? Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Mary. I think I fixed the background noise, although I'm not particularly sure what it is I did and why it's different from how I started. Good morning, Sandra. So can you please give me a a sign whether the background noise is gone or not yet. Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Okay, good. Excellent. So it is time for us to start. And yesterday we talked about strategies to approach difficult emotions, which is labeling the emotion, mindfulness, and the SSA technique that stands for softening, soothing, allowing. So it encompasses three parts of self-compassion: physical, emotional, and mental. And today we will see how this approach can help when we experience shame. And Kristen Neff and Christopher Germer say that shame is perhaps the most difficult human emotion. So today we will take a look at shame through the eyes of compassion. The meaning of shame, its component parts, the ways it's created and sustained, and we'll see why self-compassion is such a powerful antidote to shame. So you can say that the purpose of our practice today is to de-shame shame. A formal definition of shame is a complex combination of emotions, physiological responses, and imagery associated with the real or imagined rupture of relational ties. Seen through the eyes of compassion, there are three paradoxes that can take the stick out of shame. First, shame usually feels blameworthy, but it is actually an innocent emotion. Shame feels isolating, but it is a universal emotion. Shame feels permanent, but like all our emotions, it is transitory. These paradoxes are also insights that correspond to the three components of self-compassion: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. When we're in the grip of shame, it becomes workable when we remember these insights. So let's look at them one by one. First, shame is actually an innocent emotion. And the choice of word innocent doesn't deny, of course, that shame may have very tragic consequences, such as violence to self and others. It is merely suggesting that shame arises from our very innocent, universal wish to be loved. In fact, shame and the wish to be loved are two sides of the same coin. Reminding ourselves that shame arises from the wish to be loved opens the door to exploring and managing shame. Our wish to be loved starts at birth. A child, of course, has many needs and is completely helpless to meet those needs. However, when newborn children manage to get someone to love them, their basic necessities of life are usually provided. And we never grow out of this wish to be loved. As adults, we still need others to protect us from danger, to help provide for our physical needs, and to support our efforts to raise our own children. Shame is the emotion that arises when we believe that we are too flawed to be loved, too flawed to be accepted by others. In addition to remembering that shame is an innocent emotion, shame becomes more workable when we realize we're not alone when we feel shame. It is a universal emotion. And it is also helpful to remember that shame is a burden carried by only one part of ourselves, and only for a limited period of time. It's not a permanent characteristic of who we are. Shame is more difficult for some people than others. People are more likely to struggle with shame when they suffered from childhood neglect or abuse, grew up in a critical household, or suffered from social oppression and a narrative of inferiority by the dominant culture due to race, ethnicity, gender, religion, sexual orientation, etc. There is a difference between guilt and shame. Guilt refers to feeling bad about something we do, and shame is feeling bad about something we are. And I love the story that Kristen Neff tells about her personal experience with shame. One day she was singing along with the radio in the car while her autistic son, Rowan, then 10 years old, sat in the passenger seat. During one song, Kristen abruptly stopped and exclaimed, "I'm such a terrible singer." And without missing a beat, her son replied, "You're not a terrible singer, Mommy. You just sing terribly." So ever so sweetly, he shifted the burden of criticism from herself to the action, from being bad to doing something badly. There's a big difference. Shame may underlie many difficult emotions such as anger, grief, and fear. When difficult emotions become sticky and we can't let them go, there is often this vein of shame running through them. For example, persistent anger may arise from feeling disrespected and ashamed. In other words, when the sense of self is under attack. Shame is likely to emerge in any one of us when things go very wrong in our lives. For example, when we lose our health, wealth, love, or work, we often ask, "Why me?" Intense and disturbing emotions are likely to trigger the following chain reaction. I feel bad. I don't like this feeling. I don't want this feeling. I shouldn't have this feeling. Something is wrong with me to have this feeling. Therefore, I am bad. So as you can see, we move very quickly from I feel bad to I am bad. And again, the difference is huge. Another insight that I find very interesting is that shame sprouts from our negative core beliefs, like I'm unlovable, I'm helpless, I'm a failure. And the negative core beliefs that human beings have are not unlimited in number. There are perhaps only 1 or 2 dozen of those negative core beliefs. So since there are over 7 billion people on the planet, we can conclude that whatever imperfection we think separates us from the rest of humanity is actually shared by at least 500 million people. Therefore, although the experience of shame may make us feel desperately alone, it is actually a sign of our common humanity. How about that? Self-compassion is a healthy response to shame, because the alternative is to resist and avoid shame, and that inevitably makes it worse. When the sense of self is under attack, we need self-compassion. We need to hold ourselves in a loving embrace. Self-compassion is a way of finding self-worth without depending on external approval. Self-kindness counters the self-judgment of shame. Common humanity counters the feeling of isolation and shame. And mindfulness counters our tendency to over-identify with our behavior. So, what sustains shame? There is a saying, we are only as unlovable as our secrets. We are only as unlovable as our secrets. And I absolutely love it because it illustrates that trying to hide our shame behind the veil of silence can actually backfire and make the shame persist for a very long time. So, really, what we need to do first is admit our quote unquote flaws to ourselves, then bring compassion to ourselves for suffering in this way. And finally, we need to share our self doubts with others, of course, when we feel safe enough to do so. So, let's do a practice around that now. Take a comfortable position, and as always, take a few moments to settle in. Let your breath be natural and easy. Decide whether you want to close your eyes or keep them open, whatever feels safe right now. In this practice, we will be thinking of a situation in which you felt somewhat ashamed or embarrassed. I'll encourage you to focus more on embarrassment than on shame. However, if you go from 0 to 10 on the intensity scale when you start to feel embarrassed, please give yourself the freedom to disengage from this practice and simply ask yourself, what do I need right now? And do that instead. So now you can place your hand over your heart or another soothing place, reminding yourself that you are here. And perhaps imagining that kindness is flowing through your hand into your body. Now, please bring to mind an event that made you feel embarrassed or somewhat ashamed. Let it be a past event that is over and done, not something you're going through right now. Maybe you have overreacted to something. Maybe you said something dumb. Maybe you made a culturally inappropriate remark. And please choose an event that is upsetting enough that you can feel it in your body, but not overwhelmingly upsetting, like 3 or 4 on a 1 to 10 scale. Let it be an event that you would not like anyone to hear about or remember, because if they did, you think they would probably think less of you. Choose a situation that makes you feel bad about yourself, but not one in which you hurt someone and feel the need to make amends. And finally, please do not choose a situation that involves someone from whom you still need to protect yourself. Now feel your way into this embarrassing situation, remembering the event in some detail. This takes some courage. Use all your senses, especially noting how shame or embarrassment feels in your body. For a moment, reflect to see if you can determine precisely what you're afraid others might discover about you if they knew about this event. Can you give it a name? Maybe it's I'm unkind, I'm a fraud, I'm a failure. This is a negative core belief you have about yourself. And if you find more than one negative core belief, please choose the one that seems to carry the most weight right now. As you go through this, you may already be feeling separated, alone. If you're feeling this way, recognize that we are alone together. everyone here on this practice has feelings very similar to yours right now. Shame is a universal emotion. Now name the core belief for yourself in a compassionate voice. Perhaps as you might name it for a friend. For example, you can say, "Oh, you've been thinking that you are unlovable. That must be so painful." Or just address it to yourself in a warm, compassionate voice. Unlovable. I think I am unlovable. Or whatever it is for you. Remember that when we feel embarrassed or ashamed, it is only part of us that feels this way. And we don't always feel like this, even if it seems so sometimes. Remind yourself that our negative core beliefs arise out of our wish to be loved. We are all innocent beings, wishing to be loved. Now expand your awareness to your body as a whole. Recalling this difficult situation again, scan your body for where you feel embarrassment or shame most readily. In your mind's eye, sweep your body from head to toe, stopping where you can sense some tension or discomfort. And then choose a single location in your body where shame or embarrassment expresses itself most strongly. Maybe it's a tense muscle, maybe it feels like hollowness or heartache, whatever it is for you. And you don't need to be too specific. Connect with your direct experience. And now in your mind, gently incline toward that location on your body where you feel embarrassment or shame the most. Softening into this area. Letting the muscles soften, relax, as if in warm water. Softening, softening, softening. Remember that we are not trying to change anything. We're just holding this feeling in a very gentle way, cradling. Now soothing yourself because of this difficult experience. Maybe placing your hand over the part of your body that holds this embarrassment, this shame. And just feeling the gentle touch of your hand. Acknowledging how hard that part of your body has been working to hold this emotion. Maybe imagining warmth and kindness flow through your hand into your body. Maybe even thinking of your body as if it were the body of a beloved child. Soothing, soothing, soothing. Are there some comforting words that you might need to hear now? If so, imagine you had a friend who is struggling in the same way. What would you say to this friend, heart to heart? Maybe, "I'm so sorry you feel this way." Or simply, "I care about you." What would you want your friend to know, to remember? And now try offering yourself, the suffering part of yourself, the same message. It's so hard to feel this way. May I be kind to myself now, letting the words in to whatever extent possible. Again, remembering that when we feel embarrassed or ashamed, it is only part of us that feels this way, and we don't always feel like this. And finally, allowing the discomfort to be there, letting your body have whatever sensations it is having right now, letting your heart to feel as it does, making room for everything, releasing the need to make anything go away, allowing yourself to be just as you are, just like this, if only for this moment, softening, soothing, allowing, softening, soothing, allowing. Every person here has been feeling some sort of embarrassment or shame in their lives. We are all human with strengths and weaknesses. And right now, we are connected in the universal emotion of embarrassment or shame. We are connected in our wish to be loved. As a reminder of that, I want to complete our practice with a poem by Hafiz, titled With That Moon Language. Admit something. Everyone you see, you say to them, love me. Of course, you don't do this out loud. Otherwise, someone would call the cops. Still though, think about this great pull in us to connect. So why not become the one who lives with a full moon in each eye that is always saying, with that sweet moon language, what every other eye in this world is dying to. Here, love me. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow.